Hey everybody, Max Monster here, back with Marvel Heroes. We got patch 2.11. Everyone's sending me emails asking me what to do because of the health regen nerfs with like super soldier serums. So I'm doing a guide about everything out there that you can do for the health regen. And so far it's not as bad as it seems. I'm more worried about what they're going to do in the future than what they've done already. Personally, I don't think it's as broken as they want to seem. Even if you hit 60,000 health regen and you got 15,000 hit points, it's going to take you 15 seconds to regenerate your entire health pool. That's not broken. I think the broken end is on different things like life on hit that they're implementing, and they just don't realize what they're doing because they don't play the game. You can just kind of tell what kind of game it is. It's a game that developers don't play, and they're relying on beta testers that they've friended. And I don't think they're the smartest testers out there either. But anyways, so the first source of health regen obviously is going to be medkits. They give you 30% of your health over 5 seconds. You can use them once every 10 seconds. This is supposed to be the standard health regeneration system. I think this is what the developers are looking at, people not using these, and they want to get these used. I don't know why. I don't understand their logic behind it, but that's what it seems like the goal is, to get people to use health kits. So starting off with health kits, we're going to go with costume cores because there's a few things based off of costume cores that affect health kits. And let's see, we're going to go with the first costume core, which is going to be lifesteal. These are going to be older cores. I don't think they drop in the game anymore. I've picked up about 562 cores, and not one of them had lifesteal. And that not used to be the case. It used to be maybe 1 out of 100, 1 out of 150 had lifesteal on it. And now none seem to have lifesteal on it. So if anyone's found a lifesteal core since patch 2.1, I'd be interested to hear about it. It'd be nice to know if they're still in the game, but I think they pulled them. I don't think they're dropping anymore. If you have them, save them. Use them for your special characters, because even if it's level 30 with 3% or 1%, you just can't get it anymore, I don't think. Which is going to bring you up to the next best thing, which is going to be regain 25% of your health and spirit when you use a med kit. You get to use the med kit every 10 seconds, like I said, and getting 25% of your health and spirit back when you use it is very huge. That's going to be based on your health pool. If you're no longer stacking a lot of health regen, you're going to be stacking a lot of hit points. And seeing how the hit point regeneration is based off of percentage, it's going to tie in with the ability to regenerate 25% of your health as well. The next best thing for a core would be invulnerability for 2 seconds when you use a med kit. That'll at least get you 12% of your health back without taking any of your any damage while you're trying to recuperate that health. If you can get those two elements together on a core, it'd be a very interesting tie-in. That'll get you 37% of your health back before you even have to worry about taking damage again. And then another interesting combination or interesting core is invisibility for 3 seconds when you use a med kit. That invisibility will last just as long as you don't use an ability, especially in attack abilities. Some non-attack abilities won't lose the invisibility, but it's only invisibility. So if there's an AoE on the ground and you run through it, you will take that damage. However, mobs won't be able to target you for the most part. Some bosses break that ability, but that would be the next best thing. Like this core here has invisibility and regenerate health and spirit at the same time. Not too shabby. Coming up on things that do regenerate, Super Soldier Serum obviously hit with the nerf, no longer has it regeneration. I think it's supposed to have a little bit on there because the advanced version does, but maybe they're just taking it off of the normal version, which is kind of weak. However, over in Asgard, you can buy these jewels of Yggdrasil. I don't know if I said it right, but it's kind of a weird name. So this is a lower level. It does have some health regen and some health on it. And it's actually kind of interesting. It might actually be better than Super Soldier. It doesn't have quite as much health regen, but it does have +1 to all powers. So that's kind of a cool ability. Next one up is Yukio's Charm. Even the regular one has health regen. It's not a lot of health regen, but at lower levels it's enough. It does have damage to melee powers, but if you need health regen and you don't have melee powers, it's still kind of useful. It has a pretty decent amount for level 30. That's bringing us up to level 31, is the Fearsome Fist of Farala. Normally saved and reserved for dodge characters, because if you dodge you get a huge amount of crit, which actually isn't that huge anymore, and it's only for 2 seconds, which sucks. So actually that little key feature is kind of just like it's almost a joke, to be honest with you. 1200 crit at level 60 is about 6% chance to crit. But, you know, 1380 health regeneration and a little bit of dodge and some brutal strike on there. That's another way of getting some health regen. And obviously we're going to go up to super heroic Yukio's Charm. That's a big chunk of health regen. You have your melee character, that's a big chunk of melee power. That's pretty nice right there. And this is what the advanced super soldier serum is looking like. And I'm not sure how much movement or attack speed you do get with that proc, which is basically when you deal damage to an enemy, you gain an adrenaline boost for 5 seconds, increasing your movement and attack speed. Sounds kind of an interesting thing to throw on there. You get some defense on there now too. Obviously the defense is a joke, because you need thousands upon thousands of defense to actually matter anymore, and 375 defense. This development team really doesn't know what it's doing with its stats anymore. It has lost all idea of how much you need to really matter anymore. It just 375 is a joke. But it's still got, you know, 2,000 health regen, 2,000 health. That's not bad at all. And then, as a side note, this isn't really that great because it's relying on going below 30% of your health. And usually when these things happen, you know, the developers like to say the big chunky hits are out of the game. That's just not true. A lot of bosses are pretty much 2 or 3 shotting still, and this isn't going to help you too much, but it does give you a okay amount of health regen if you go below 30% of your health. And so the Extremis Serum B is still in there. Now, life on hit items. I've always said Relic Lemuria should be for any single character out there, no matter what you do. It's the only relic that really pays out for what it does. It's awesome. 38 health when you deal damage. Doesn't matter how you deal damage. Doesn't matter if it's a basic power. Doesn't matter if it's an area power. It's 38 health when you deal damage. It is phenomenal. If you're an energy-based character, Oculus Oroborus will pay off in spades. This is phenomenal. There's many energy-based characters. Cable does energy damage, Cyclops does energy damage, Gambit, Human Torch, Jean Grey, if you're doing Phoenix form, all energy goes from mental to energy. It is phenomenal on Jean Grey. Miss Marvel, Storm, and Thor all do energy damage. Even Thor's melee, if you're doing Storm Strike, has an energy component, and that arcs. It's phenomenal on Thor. Obviously, I'm using it. A very underused and should be coming back into play are these Starstone Tooths, especially this advanced Starstone Tooth. If you can get one with a 15% chance or higher to proc, it's phenomenal, especially the advanced. Look at that, 760 health when you hit. 15% chance or higher is basically giving you, what, not quite 6, about 6.5, 7% chance every 7 hits to do 700 health. That's about 1 in 7, so say every hit is about 100 and some odd health. That can pay off very well indeed, and it gives you a good chunk of health and some dodge as well. So these Starstone Tooths were kind of forgotten because of the Super Soldier Serums and the Oculus and the Lemurias. These will be coming out, especially the regular Starstone. It's a level 14 item. You get one with 20% chance, 1 in 5 hits, gives you 272 health. The low level character is going to love that. And those are all my health regen ideas that I got. Besides, you can get, if you're a basic power user, which there's a few of them out there, you can get regenerate health when you hit the basic power. And as you can see, I got on Wolverine's costume. Even with his phenomenal health regen, I am tripling up on his health regen with hitting with a basic power, with all his attack speed and everything. I got life steal on his core. I got life on hit on his costume with some health. I just figured, well, why re-roll the health? A little bit of health goes a long way. And I just stacked the health regen on him. He's a beast. He does enough damage. You don't have to stack more damage on him. He destroys as is. And I know you're saying, well, he's got enough life as is. And, well, until you get to one of those bosses that just does so much damage that he doesn't have enough life. But I will regenerate life faster than you can imagine. You won't if you're stacking damage. The bosses now will live a lot longer. You will not burn down bosses faster than they will live. And they will be able to get their damage out there. That's the way the game's heading. So living longer will pay off. There's 3 ways you can play the game. Survive as long as possible and let your skills do their damage based on their skills. You could be the opposite of that, which is basically be a burst nukem DPS class, which does as much damage as fast as possible. Very, very useful, especially against characters like, say, Juggernaut or Rhino, where they have one-shot kill mechanics, where it's much better to kill them as fast as possible, so you have to deal with their mechanic the least amount as possible, making my survive as long as possible less useful, because there's more likely to get hit by one of those one-shot mechanics. And then you got the people that are trying to do both, have just the right amount of survivability with just the right amount of DPS to be able to go through both. You know, I like to live through it. There's only a few one-shot mechanics out there, and there's a lot of other mechanics out there that you can just survive through. That's just my preference. So that's how the life regen system's working right now. Things that you can do. So I hope it helped. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll talk to you later.